With just 2 race weekends left in the Porsche GT3 Cup Challenge USA by Yokohama, the competition couldn't be closer. It's been door to door, switching positions and switching paint, and crowds loving every minute of it. While Virginia International Raceway may be picturesque, it can intimidate even the most seasoned drivers. From the legendary uphill S's to the flowing roller coaster, there is not one moment to relax. Today, these drivers must muscle their 3.8-liter, 460 horsepower Porsches around this 3.2-mile, 17-turn track. 3 drivers are poised to take the top step of the podium. Elliott Skier, Angel Benitez, and Jesse Lazare continue to battle for overall dominance. In fact, these 3 drivers are the only ones to take overall wins. Lazare swept both rounds at Sebring, Benitez both rounds at Watkins Glen, and Skier both rounds at Road America and the lone round in New Orleans. Can one of these drivers sweep the podium again? Or will the trend stop here? We'll find out next. Hi everybody and welcome to Virginia International Raceway and our coverage of rounds 11 and 12 of the Porsche GT3 Cup Challenge USA by Yokohama. I am Greg Creamer, going to be joined by John Hindhoff and Jeremy Shaw. An absolutely beautiful field of Porsches ready to set sail for rounds 11 and 12 on an absolute glorious ribbon of asphalt and an absolutely perfect day for a motor race. Now, 2 different categories of car do run here. The Platinum class for the newer 991 platform cars, 2014, 2015. Let's take a look at them. They're slightly more aggressive in terms of the aerodynamics, full paddle shift, and to help you tell them apart, black number panels, side mirrors, and that windshield banner. Now, the gold category for the slightly older 997 platform, 2010 to 2013. Not as aggressive aerodynamically, but more slippery. And as you might imagine, gold panels, side mirrors, and windshield banners. Let's take a look at round 11 highlights. And it started with an incident. Jesse Lazare, points leader, couldn't make an upshift. Andrew Long swerved to avoid him, collected Casey Coleman. He came back across and took both of them into the barriers. Unfortunate incident caused by a mechanical issue in Jesse Lazare's car. The point leader parked at the side of the track. No points on this day. Meanwhile, the guy he's battling and led by 3 points coming in, Elliott Skier, into the early lead, but Angel Benitez was in huge pursuit. Big moment here, that white car, that's Sebastian Landy trying to make a move on Jeff Mosing for the lead in gold. Never saw Charlie Putman. Both of them ended up off track, and Landy facing oncoming traffic, a scary section of the track. Meanwhile, it was Skier continuing to lead. Relentless pursuit by Benitez, but a huge off in the back in those S's by Will Hardiman in the more-speed car. He was able to continue, although damaged. After Landy's moment in the gold category, Jeff Mosing had it all his own way, opening up a sizable lead. But Elliott Skier could never quite shake Angel Benitez, but a moment for Benitez. Turned out he'd been battling all race long with a steering rack issue. It failed on the final lap from second into the barriers, and a no finish and no points for Benitez, who needed every potential point. Meanwhile, Skier gets the win and pads his point lead over Mike Shine, got his best finish of the season, and Lucas Catania ended up with his 2nd straight podium in gold and gold masters. Jeff Mosing leading, finishing in front of Marciano and Max Tolman, who podiums in his debut race. Pretty remarkable. Now, the point standings after 11 rounds, Mosing, big lead in gold over Catania. Yano, though, only 2 points back in 3rd. Ducote not here, so Landy, opportunity to move up this weekend. In the platinum category, Elliott Skier, remember, 3 points behind coming in. Big swing, now up 17 over Lazare. They both are well clear of Long. And Benitez and Coleman, both of them scoring no points, both of them tied now for 4th. And then Lucas Catania slowly closing in. When we come back to VIR, we'll have round 12 for you. Stay with us. Welcome back. Round 12 of the Porsche GT3 Cup Challenge USA by Yokohama at VIR. Let's take a look at our starting lineup. And you can see Angel Benitez inside of the front row. Even with his problem in that wreck, he had a great lap, and it's a new track record at 150.937. Andrew Long, a great run. Superb start for him alongside. Then Elliott Skier, now your points leader, inside of the 2nd row with Mike Shine alongside. As we take a look at the rest of the field, Casey Coleman, even with his problems, he still had a good time in the qualifying session that paid off. And then you go back into the gold category. Jeff Mosing will start on pole. Marciano 2nd with Joe Catania 3rd. Then Sebastian Landy looking for a good run after his problems yesterday, but even more importantly, Jesse Lazar, second in the points, starts 21st overall, buried in this field. He has a long day ahead of him to try and earn some points and stay in this championship. So the field now down into the final corner. It is under control, and oh boy, Benitez, boy did he go, and he went, it looked a little bit early. He may have timed it. There's an acceleration area that is marked there. And John, the question is, did he go early, or is this one gonna stick? Are we green?
It's green, and Benitez Jr. from full pole position gets a really quick start. Pulled 3 or 4 cars lengths on the field as they went across the line. We are racing for a 45-minute contest of round number 12 of the Porsche GT3 Cup Challenge, USA by Yokohama. And Angel Benitez Jr. has absolutely disappeared into the distance and got away very well indeed from that front row start. Elliott Skier battling with Andrew Long and Michael Shine there for second position, and Andrew Long has dropped back. The blue Porsche has dropped back a position. Through has gone Lucas Catania, who has come through from row number 3, the inside of row 3. So the inside lane definitely got the run as they went across the line first time around. Andrew Long moving the car around a bit, the 47 blue car, looking very, very much under pressure at the moment, but a fabulous start by Benitez Jr. getting away. It's all about some damage limitation for some of the drivers out there. Jesse Lazar starting at the back, of course, after his crash yesterday, in 19th position as they went across the line. He'll be trying to get some points back for his championship challenge.
That was a great start by Angel Benitez Jr. He's taken advantage of the fact that 2 championship contenders are not with him there at the front of the grid. But there is Elliott Skier trying to make a move past Andrew Long, is on the outside going into turn 12. That's not going to work. Andrew Long in car number 47 holds on to 3rd place.
Yeah, trying to go around the outside of the first part of the roller coaster. That's brave in the extreme, isn't it, as they come round to complete the first lap. The clock is running. It is a time-certain event. This the 12th round of the championship. The guys have got a make-up round to do later on in the weekend here at VIR for one that they didn't get done. Oh, mistake by Catania in turn 1, locks up the front Yokohamas and goes wide, but got off the brakes and let the car roll on. That was smart driving by Lucas. Benitez Jr. then by 1.2 seconds over Catania in second, Long in third, Elliott Skier and Michael Shine. Casey Kuhlman, recovering after his start line incident yesterday, is holding down a solid 6th position. And best of the Masters drivers in the Platinum class. Masters for drivers with slightly more life experience, over 40s. It is 40's the new 20 anyway, let's be honest. In the Gold class, it is Jeff Mosing down in 15th position. He has Sebastian Landi for company. Sebastian didn't get too far in the first round here at VIR either, and Jeff Mosing was rather disappointed because he does like racing Sebastian. They race very closely and very fairly. They are in 15th and 16th position at the moment, and Mosing just with a car or two's lengths between himself and the white Porsche of Landi behind him.
Yeah, the 0-1 car top racing there leads the way for Jeff Mosing, but right behind him, that number 49 machine, Champ One Motorsports. And again, they've had to work hard on that car overnight. He had a big wreck on Friday to repair the car, and he also had an off yesterday when, unfortunately, had to take evasive action when Charlie Putman lost control going through the S's, and Sebastian Landi had to run off course. He damaged the front of the car. They got that car back together again, and Sebastian Landi now trying to keep that pressure on the championship leader in the gold class, Jeff Mosing.
He's got Kurt Verseekers ahead of him, Jeff, in the orange and black Porsche. And Kurt had a difficult day yesterday in the 52 machine. Off the circuit at least 3 times that we saw, just couldn't seem to get the rhythm of the place yesterday, and then lost his front splitter, and really at that point lost the splitter, and at that point he was in real trouble. The front of the Kelly Moss Racing 52 machine now looking as pristine as it ever does when it rolls off the truck. Landi just beginning to put a little bit of pressure on Jeff Mosing there. 3rd place in the gold category is Mark Yarno in the 22 car, and he's right there as well. Meanwhile, at the front of the field, Benitez by still just over a second from Catania and Elliott Skier. skier in the Wright Motorsport number 14, the red front valance, and the rest of the car white. Behind him, Andrew Long in the mostly blue car. And they're just spacing out at the moment, plenty of time. People, I think, probably just a little more circumspect after the early shunts yesterday caused a lot of consternation throughout the pack. No one's fault, really. It was just a bad start by Jesse Lazer. He couldn't get third gear when he was trying to pull away off the line. It's a very quick start across the start line here, and changing up into third just wouldn't work for him.
It wouldn't work. No, the gear shift actuator failed on that car just at the worst possible time. They had some glitches with it on the previous day, actually, but they thought it was okay. They took it on to the Porsche Motorsports, and they said, well, anyhow, it failed coming up for the start of the race, so it would not shift, and poor Jesse Lazer was completely powerless, unable to do anything, and it caused a big concertina accident behind him. Really, really unfortunate for several contenders there, in particular, of course, for Jesse Lazer, leading the championship coming in, came away with just a solitary point, so lost out with Elliott Skier, his main rival, scoring 20 points. A big championship swing there.
Well, certainly is, but Lazer in that Kelly Moss Porsche has to just put his head down. And we'll find out just how well that goes when we come back to Virginia International Raceway. Welcome back to VIR. Angel Benitez continues to lead. And John, one of the things about this track, it's long, it's difficult to pass, but it's a real driver's track with some very tricky corners.
A number of places here at VIR where you're braking and turning at the same time, just across the top of the brow and into the tricky roller coaster section, and then into the hog pen as you plunge downhill, and that is a real drop there. Probably at least a couple of stories, possibly even more, as they come down to the last two corners. And just when you've got around that left-hander, the right-hander rather, you think it's all done. There's the little right kink that brings you back onto the start-finish line area, which is not a straight, as you can see. The Andrew Long 47 car going to the right-hand side because it is a long, lazy right-hander, and then you've got to get straight for the braking area for turns 1 and 2. Well, Hardiman, another man who has had a difficult weekend, as leader goes all the way off the track at turn 3, but the new paved runoff areas behind the yellow and green curbs means that's not such an issue. Drive yourself happy, it says on the back of Jeff Mosing's 01 car, a 2010 chassis, and the car has the nickname Trixie. Oh, and right in front of our gold leader, Fazekas goes off. And did say yesterday that Kurt Fazekas had an up and down day. I think he was off there yesterday, actually. So hasn't learned anything then.
He was off most places yesterday, I think. He had at least 3 offs. Running that car now with Kelly Moss Motorsports, and that is the car that won the championship last year with Colin Thompson. Looking at a replay of what happened, just go on the pound, a little too hard coming out of the left-hander there at turn 4, and around the car just sort of loops around to the left-hand side of the racetrack.
Fine piece of driving by Jeff Mosing. Yes. He just went off the throttle and back on again. No chance for Sebastian Landy to take advantage.
Yeah, and I mean, ironically, it's pretty much almost what happened yesterday with the car directly in front of those two. Charlie Putman went off. That time it's through the S's, and on that occasion, Sebastian Landy was absolutely left with nowhere to go. So at least this time, both of them escaped unscathed.
No need for full course caution, as Kurt Fazekas has got the car back on the track. He got plenty of practice of doing that yesterday. Just didn't, as I said, he just didn't seem to have the rhythm of the circuit yesterday, and was maybe just a little aggressive, getting on the power too early. I know that sounds ridiculous. How can you possibly get on the power too early? You want to be on it, but it's a mistake many drivers make, and I'll put my hand up to that. And only when I started driving cars with data did I realise why I was having the problems. You need to be patient through some of these longer radius corners sometimes. Just let the car settle before you get on the right-hand pedal.
That's right. One thing I learned from the Skip Barber Racing School, Peter Argetson was my instructor then, and oftentimes you come out of a corner and you count 1 1,000, 2 1,000, and then get on the throttle. When you get off the brakes, 1 1,000, 2 1,000, then on the throttle. That was obviously it varies from corner to corner and track to track and car to car, but that patience is a valuable part of a driver's skills.
Particularly when you're driving cars with slick tyres or with, designed for racing tyres and racing cars that are street derived, like we have here. Well, these are proper racing cars, of course, built by Porsche Motorsport at Weissach. The entry level of Porsche racing as it stands at the moment, with the GT3 Cup and the Carrera Cup around the world. More than 20 championships around the world. GT3 Challenge denoting a regional series, as we have here in the US. The national series tend to be called Carrera Cup. And we have the Super Cup as well, which this weekend is at Spa, supporting the Formula One Grand Prix. Patrick Dempsey, a guest driver in that this weekend over at Spa-Francorchamps. But essentially exactly the same specification of cars. Some of the tyres will change from country to country. Off has gone Stephen Toulmin in the bright red 69 car. He was down in 21st position. That might give Kurt Fasika somebody to race when he comes back on.
And Steve Toulmin, he was the guy whose car was repaired after a huge off in the S's on Friday. So that team has worked really, really hard to get that car on track here, and for Steve to make his debut this weekend, along with his son Max. And it was actually Max who spawned the interest in motorsport there. He came across a buddy at school who had a quarter midget. They're based in Pittsburgh, well, in Pennsylvania, and actually Steve was actually born in England, but Max was born in England, in fact. Dad is a pharmaceutical engineer, but the son was introduced to a friend who had a quarter midget. They thought, well, that looks like fun, had a go, and here they are now stepping up into the GT3 Cup Challenge by Yokohama.
And doing a great job. Angel Benitez doing a great job continuing to lead with this battle for second. Lucas Catania, that great start, getting him in front of your point leader, Elliott Skier. Angel Benitez continues to lead here in this 12th round of the Porsche GT3 Cup Challenge USA by Yokohama. This great battle for second continues, still held by Lucas Catania Jr. in the NGT car. But John, up front, our leader, as a result, starting to draw away.
So Angel Benitez Jr. by something in the region of 3.5 seconds now to the rest of the field. Andrew Long perhaps can use the battling pair ahead of him to close that 47 blue and black car up to a potential podium position. At the moment he's rather isolated in 4th spot, with Michael Shine having a bit of a battle with Casey Kuhlman behind him. 16 and the 15 car run from the Wright Motorsports operation. Wright, one of the super teams, running a number of cars here, as do NGT. So these guys know each other very well indeed. Cars parked under the same awning in the very impressive paddock area here at VIR. And just behind them, in 8th position, Santiago Creel in the Mexico flag cars. And making up the top 10, Jesse Lazer.
Yeah, and Santiago Creel, that's another Wright Motorsports car as well, as is the car currently running in 3rd place, Elliott Skier, who, as you say, really putting the pressure on Lucas Catania here in the NGT Motorsports car number 26. And Lucas has been on the pole for the last on the podium for the last 2 races, so really stepping up his game as he gets more familiar with these cars. He's a rookie in the championship this year, really doing a nice job, just getting better and better and better. His dad, Joe, is running 4th in the Gold Cup category as well. But yeah, you mentioned Jesse Lazar. Here he comes down the hill in the Garage car for Kelly Moss Motorsports. Moved his way all the way through from the 20th position on the grid into 9th right now, and setting some fast lap times, certainly pretty much as quick as the leaders this time around. Actually, it's the new fastest lap of the race for Jesse Lazer in car number 21 of 50.383. He's still got about 3.5 seconds before he's going to catch Santiago Creel in car number 60.
So just on half an hour to go here, 15 minutes gone. 2/3 of the race still remain in this, the 11th round of the 2015 Porsche GT3 Cup Challenge USA by Yokohama. John Hindhaugh and Jeremy Shaw overlooking the action in what would normally be, at this time of day on a Sunday morning, a sleepy parkland area on the borders of Virginia and North Carolina. But thank goodness, back in 1957, the area was, a bulldozer was taken to the area to carve out the outline of the circuit that we still use today, being further developed down through the years, almost lost to motorsport, but fettled and rekindled a few years ago as one of the prototype motorsport country clubs, and that is what has brought the IMSA series back over the last few years.
Well, it is that, and it is absolutely beautiful as well, John. And it's a great challenge. It is a track that really gets these drivers up on the wheel, and Lucas Catania having to deal with the pursuit of Elliott Skier. So far, he's up to the challenge. A new second-place runner here at Virginia National Raceway in round 12 of the Porsche GT3 Cup Challenge USA by Yokohama. While we were in break, Elliott Skier able to sneak through in the 56 of David Baker, having a bit of a moment here, running wide. That's up at the top of that roller coaster section. Let's go back and see if we can see what may have happened here. Boy and John, two drivers looking awfully shallow.
Did he get a little help? Oh, both the Patel and the Baker cars going way too deep. There was a bit of contact, but in fairness, I think David Baker was already on his way to the scenery at that point.
He was, and it just followed off there by Jay Patel.
Yes, suckered him into it. If he can get in there at that speed, then so can I. He can't get in there at that speed, and neither can I.
So Charlie Piper says, thank you very much,
Thanks,
gentlemen.
guys.
I'm out of here.
I'll take both of those. So Charlie goes through to 12th position. And following him through, by the way, was the battle for the gold category lead. Jeff Mosing and Sebastian Landy.
Tell you what, those two seem to be magnets for disaster happening in front of them. Not necessarily disaster, but incidents in front of them. But they managed to avoid them again there.
Jesse Lazaire continues his charge up the field, now into 8th position. And Santiago Creel is his next target. Yes, and target is acquired here.
And that's because number 19, Will Hardeman, had a spin last time around.
And
there goes.
Wow.
Yeah, another position gained.
And that was just a much better exit from the final corners onto the long front straight here. Oh, he's taking too much speed in. Just gets a little dab of opposite lock to hold the car in the four-wheel slide through turns 1 and 2. But a great piece of driving by Jesse Lazaire, who I think he's fairly fired up after yesterday, was massively disappointed after the round 10 start line incident. No blame whatsoever attached to him, nor indeed, in fairness, to Andrew Long, who had to pull out to avoid him and then clipped Casey Koeman, who went back across into Jesse. Not anyone's fault, no blame attached. The absolute definition of a racing incident on a start line. Cars together, accelerating hard. Somebody, for whatever reason, mechanical in this situation, in this incident, couldn't grab the gear. And that is, it's almost like putting the brakes on. In fact, it is. Because you don't expect someone not to be absolutely flat out heading towards the green flag. 25 minutes to go, and the leader is the 05 JDX Racing Porsche of Angel Benitez Jr. Just basically pacing himself now, 51.1 last time around. His best 5 laps ago was a 150.5. The fastest lap of the race turned just and off has gone the 24. That is Joe Catania, and Joe's a long way off the circuit, and he's taken a big hit. Both ends of the car hit the curb on the entrance to the uphill S's, gets on the grass, and at that point he's gone from being driver to passenger and comes towards the camera very quickly indeed. And very unusual to see any unguarded Armco here at VIR, and he's found it and done both ends of the car. There's steam coming out the front, that's where the radiators are on the 911. I can see that Joe is moving inside the car. He's put the window net down, that's always a good sign. He is doing exactly as he should do, and he is staying in the car. That's a fast part of the circuit, and he is waiting for the intervention crews to get to him. Unsurprisingly, full course caution has come out right at the midpoint of the race. 22 minutes gone, 23 minutes to go. And our first full course caution for round number 11 of the Porsche GT3 Cup Challenge USA by Yokohama is for Joe Catania, just misjudging the S's, catching too much curb, pitching the car off the circuit and on driver's right, interestingly, but as soon as he was on the grass, he was carrying way too much speed for the next left-hander, couldn't get the car stopped again, and at that point the wet grass was not going to provide any kind of grip for the Yokohamas, and he was on his way to the scene of the accident at some speed. But the safety equipment within the car and the design of the safety cage has done its job. We've already got a Ford flatbed from the ultra-efficient VIR rescue and recovery there on scene. The Porsche intervention vehicle from IMSA.
Absolutely great to have that type of equipment and that type of response. Joe Catania is out and okay. Tough break for him, though. Second in Gold Cup points behind Jeff Mosing, although a ways back. But now that's obviously going to balloon out quite a bit. And while we are under caution, we're going to step away for just a minute. An opportunity for all these drivers and these Yokohama tires to cool things off and go racing when we come back. Welcome back as we head into the final third of this 12th round of the Porsche GT3 Cup Challenge USA by Yokohama at Virginia International Raceway. Pace car has made good its escape. Angel Benitez Jr. bringing the field around and setting up for the restart. We've heard from him and the team that they really work on the setup on this car to have it be good on restarts. He's going to need it here to defend from Elliott Skier as they make the run up toward the green flag, John.
As with just on 16 minutes to go, we restart the 12th round of the Porsche GT3 Cup Challenge USA by Yokohama. I've got to keep an eye here on Jesse Lazaire in the 7th position, the 21 car, already looking to make moves at the back of that opening lap of the new green flag period.
And making a brilliant move all the way around the outside of Casey Kuhlman in turns 1 and 2. That was magnificent driving by Jesse Lazaire.
Has come from pretty much the back of the pack, had fought his way up to 8th position before the full course caution, and now has had a chance to cool his Yokohama tyres, get another heat cycle into them. He knows there's a real opportunity here to grab back some of the ground that he lost by not finishing round number 11 through the uphill S's. Oh, pretty much all 4 wheels off the ground. Fantastic view of the cars and how hard these guys are pushing in the opening exchanges of this second part of the race. Pretty much half the race from the green flag, and then that first full course caution, and now a 15-minute dash to the finish. Angel Benitez Jr. has made good his escape at the front of the field from Elliott Skier in second, 0-5 from 14. Lucas Catania in 3rd position, then Longshine. Jesse Lazaire right in behind Michael Shine, the red, white and grey car, and the mostly white 21 machine, battling now for 5th position. This is a fabulous drive and a measured one from Jesse Lazaire, who's just gone by Santiago Creel before, who just went by Santiago Creel in the 60 car before the yellow flag, and dealt with Casey Kuhlman in the most decisive way at the drop of the green flag to get us back into racing. And now has a look down the inside of Shine to turn number 1, and Lazaire makes that one. That is an absolute copybook manoeuvre here at VIR. He'll drift a little bit wide on the exit of 2, but brings the car back into the middle of the road for 3 and 4. That's absolutely fair. Have no issue with that whatsoever. Leaning on those right side Yokohamas through 4 and 5. And now his next target is Andrew Long, who's in 4th position. And I tell you what, I'm not sure Andrew would have expected to see the front of the Lazaire Kelly Moss Racing Porsche in his mirrors at this stage of the race. This has been an excellent drive by Jesse Lazaire.
It certainly has, and has set the fastest lap of the race while charging his way up through the field here. So Jesse Lazaire up into 6th place, and his next target will be Michael Shine. So, yeah.
And he's gone past Shine.
Yes,
gone past Shine in 1.
Up into 5th, that's right. And the next target is Andrew Long. And We've got second, third, fourth and fifth being Jesse Lazare in a train now. And Benitez just pulled out a little bit over the pursuing pack. Another quick note at the back of the field, Charlie Putman and John Goetz, numbers 18 and number 40, Goetz and Putman. They both had an off on that lap somewhere because they rejoined at the tail of the field.
Yeah, and Dad and Lad, Stephen and Max Tillman, are battling for 18th and 19th position. Just under 12 and a half minutes to go. VIR, 3¼ miles, 3.27, if you measure things rather more accurately than it's about, which many of you do. And Jesse Lazare's next target is Andrew Long, who takes the classic line into turn one, and Lazare's coming from a long way back. Little lock of the right front, the unloaded tyre in the right-hand corner from Andrew Long. Long feeling the pressure. Lazare knows he's got to get past Andrew and try and get up the field as much as he can. Elliott Skier is his championship contender in the main competition, and he's in second place at the moment. Just a couple of seconds up the road, you can see him tantalisingly close, but a couple of cars between Lazare and Skier at the moment. Skier in clear air in second place, not really under pressure from Lucas Catania in third.
And I'll tell you, that drive by Lazare certainly aided by that caution, but what a story up into fifth, and not that far distance-wise behind the guy he is racing in the points, Elliott Skier. But up front, it is Angel Benitez leading away. Skier in second. There's Lazare. Does he have anything left? We'll find out in a minute. Angel Benitez Jr. continues to lead here in round 12 of the Porsche GT3 Cup Challenge USA by Yokohama at Virginia International Raceway. Been an amazing story for him, the 2012 Gold Cup champion. He was second in points in 2014 in the Platinum category. Also had a great season in 2013, 5 wins in each, but missed the first 4 races, yet comes into this round tied for fourth in the points. Pretty impressive. Elliott Skier, though, guys, is closing in just a little.
Skier just nibbling a 10th or 2 out of the lead as he heads up through the exceptionally quick uphill S's. What a beautiful flowing circuit this is at VIR. The oak tree turn now bereft of oak tree since a thunderstorm and a lightning strike took that away. Although at the souvenir shop you can buy key rings made out of the old oak tree.
The son of oak tree has now
son of oak tree has been planted
outside the corner this time.
Yes, absolutely. Used to be on right on the inside of that corner there, and a number of drivers who haven't been here for a few years have gone rattling up there, expecting to see the tree.
Where am I on this racetrack?
Yes, Lucas Luhr, who's racing here this weekend, hasn't been here for a few years. A man who has Porsche Cup experience himself. He arrived at the oak tree corner without oak tree and promptly was so shocked he missed his braking point and had to haul himself back off the grass. 8.5 minutes to go, just under, as Angel Benitez Jr. just stretches the lead to round about 1.5 seconds over Elliott Skier in second. Third, the 26 of Catania. 47 is Long. 49, Sebastian Landi in second place to this man, Jeff Mosing, in the 01 Mosing Motor Cars. We like to call it Trixie. Not Jeff, you understand, that's the car, I presume, anyway. It's what's written on the back of it. The 01 Gold category leader for cars of the Type 997. The Type 991s are the Platinum class, and they typically have a little more development, a little quicker, and tend to be at the sharper end of the field. Here, the Yokohamas just buzzing over the curbs at the edge of the snake and transitioning into the uphill S's.
Again, the fastest car on the track last time around was Jesse Lazare, making up for that mistake he made a couple of laps ago, closed right in again on the tail of Andrew Long, but as we've already learned in a few laps since the restart, catching up and getting past 2 entirely different stories.
This is a very mature race from Elliott Skier in second place as Lazare takes a big dive down the inside into the start of the roller coaster, but really wasn't close enough to get that one done. Can he pressure Andrew Long into a mistake. Very quick car in a straight line, Jesse Lazar's. I wonder if they've just trimmed it out a little bit because he was starting so far down. Oh, and a little slide from Andrew Long just meant he couldn't get the power on quite as early as he would have liked to. Advantage to the white number 21 of Jesse Lazar then as they come towards the completion of their lap number 19 across the line. Not sure Lazar's close enough. Throws the dummy to the right, then to the left, moving around in the mirrors of Andrew Long, trying to catch the attention of the man ahead of him who just drifts a tad wide on the exit in the 47 Porsche. But Long is not to be thrown off his rhythm. Concentration for both of these drivers, and actually they're just closing down, I think, on Lucas Catania. Normally a couple of battling drivers will slow each other up, but they're seemingly spurring each other on to greater heights, and it's going to be third, fourth and fifth pretty much together as they head up the hill towards the Oak Tree turn on this 20th lap with just 6 minutes to go.
Well, I think you're right. I think certainly, you know, Lazar wants another spot. He wants those points, and Long clearly responding. But I wonder, too, if Catania maybe did use up a little bit too much car defending on Skier for so long. But Lazar, he is on the attack. When we come back, we'll take you to the checkers. Stay with us. Into the final few minutes here at VIR, it is still Benitez leading from Skier and Catania, but you can see Lazar has moved now around Long, picked up those points for fourth, and on his remarkable charge, guys, he has uncorked a rapid 150.383. John, a new track record for this class.
These cars are very quick round this 3.27 mile circuit. Benitez Jr. has done his job very well indeed. Under 4 minutes now. Cursing the fact that he had to take several laps to get past Andrew Long. I think that might have just cost him a chance of that podium spot.
You sit here, the fastest car on a track, and
he's got a bit of clear air now, Jeremy, to exploit that.
Yeah, he's still got certainly better part of a second or a second and a half to make up, though, if he's going to really begin to challenge for that podium position that Lucas Catania has at the moment.
And it's all crucial in terms of points for the championship. Remember, Lazar came into this weekend as the championship leader, but the non-finish in round 11 here at VIR took him out of the top spot. And now he is desperate to get some points on the board. Some championship pressure, at least on Elliott Skier. Angel Benitez Jr. has not done the full season, remember, but he has scored well. Missed a real opportunity yesterday when he couldn't bring the car home with that mechanical issue. Round 11 was a non-score for the leader here, but surely no one is going to deny him the maximum points for the victory.
He did score a few points because he completed all except one lap. He was actually classified in 11th position in Platinum, so does get 5 points for that. So better off than Paul Jesse Lazar, who was out at the beginning, and he was 15th in the class. That's just worth 1 point.
So coming round, it'll be white flag next time around for Angel Benitez Jr. He's under no pressure whatsoever and can tailor his driving to what's going on behind him. Lazar still charging at the moment, 51.0 last time around. Only took a 10th out of Lucas Catania, so the raw pace from the 21 car has just disappeared a little bit. It was Elliott Skier the fastest of the leading drivers last time around with a 150.9, taking a couple of tenths out of the black JDX Racing Porsche. Time not on the side of any of the chasers at the moment, but in fairness, I do believe Angel Benitez Jr. is just pacing himself to what's going on behind him, Jeremy. It's been a very measured drive by the young man. Often we've seen him when he's chasing, hasn't really been able to find a way through, but he's here, started from the front, from pole position, and has dominated. Now, in the gold category, 0-1 of Jeff Mosing is in second place. That is Sebastian Landi in the white 49 car, who has gone through to the lead. So a change around there. Jay Patel overtook Jeff a couple of laps ago. He was the car in between them, and Sebastian Landy has found a way through. I was just pausing for a moment to make sure that was Sebastian, and it is.
Yeah.
The 49 car has gone through with the yellow mirrors.
Mosey must have made a mistake because going into the previous lap, the 49 car wasn't particularly close. Have a look at the replay here. Aha, up at Oak Tree. Jeff Mosey runs really wide of the exit, gets on the dirt, 4 wheels on the dirt, no traction out there, John, and that gives Sebastian Landy an opportunity to dive past on that straightaway.
Tiny little loss of concentration and mistake, with the consequence of losing the lead in the gold category. The Yokohama tyres very good, but not done for rallycross or off-roading. They are meant to be in contact, Jeff, with the black stuff. And Sebastian Landy now is really having to defend as time has expired. We're on the last lap here. 45 minutes is up. We promise you 45 minutes, but once again, the Porsche GT3 Cup Challenge USA by Yokohama has given us just a little bit more. And is there still a headline to write as Lazare is still looking for the 3rd spot on the podium, and Lucas Catania in the 26 orange and white NGT Porsche is saying, no, no, thou shalt not pass. The leader is Lazare. The winner will be Lazare. And round 12 of the Porsche GT3 Cup Challenge USA by Yokohama at Virginia International Raceway goes the way of JDX, and Angel Benitez Jr. takes another victory. In 2nd place, Elliott Skier nips through for good championship points to back up his win in round 11, and Lucas Catania will hold on to the 3rd spot of the podium by a fraction of a second from a hard-charging Jesse Lazare, who's come from the back of the grid. In gold, it's not over quite yet, but Sebastian Landy has the point as he comes through the final corner, and it's a long run. Mosing's got a decent run, but I don't think he's going to be able to get there. It's Landy, the 49 car, will go through and take gold from Jeff Mosing in 2nd. Mark Yano will come through in a wee moment in the 22 car and take 3rd position.
What an opportunistic move by Landy on the last lap, and that gives him his 3rd win in only 6 starts this season. Pretty remarkable stuff. And up front, overall, of course, in Platinum, big story there, Benitez getting that win. But Skier in 2nd, Lazare in 4th. That's your point story. When we come back, we'll hear from our class winners. Welcome back to VIR, where round 12 of the Porsche GT3 Cup Challenge USA by Yokohama now complete. In the Platinum category, Angel Benitez, listen to this, folks, getting his 3rd win, his 7th top 2 in only 8 races. Obviously, with that problem in round 11, it's put him a little bit further back in the points chase, but a great day today. Let's hear from him.
Yeah, I mean, that's the pace we had yesterday. And it was, you know, it was very disappointing to see the car with so much potential just being lost lap by lap with the mechanical problem we had. But I mean, at the end we're here. Karma put us back in the front, and we won. I think Elio is doing a great job with the championship. I mean, he's doing what he needs to do to actually win it. We're here just to have fun, get some points, make some victories, and show the Hertz car, which is looking good now again. And I mean, thank you for everything. JDX and Hertz make all this possible. I mean, he came on the last minute, and we could have done better, but it's racing, so we don't know what things happen in the middle of the race. We had to say thanks to Yokohama for great tires. I mean, I was just pushing the same time. I mean, I was just doing almost pretty close laps the whole race, so that said a lot about the tire. And IMSA is just always getting and better and improving the championship for us. So I think it's a very good ladder to go pro. Thank you.
Well, and that's the eye for a lot of these young guns, isn't it? Going pro. Let's take a look at our results. Benitez, Skier 2nd. There's the thing. More points in hand over Lazare. Catania, a 3rd straight 3rd. Great run for him. And Long completing the top 5. Landy getting the win in gold. 12th overall over Mosing, with Mark Yano there in 3rd. So a great story there as well. But wow, what a run by Lazare from 21st up into 4th. But for Sebastian Landy, as I said, an amazing 3rd win in 6 starts. Let's hear from our gold victor.
It was a crazy couple of laps. I was hoping to have a good race with Jeff. It's what we've been hoping to have this whole weekend. Fortunately, we've had some bad luck, and last race we weren't able to finish. So I was really looking forward to today, and it was shaping up to be a great race. We had the Platinum car get in between us for a little bit, and I thought it was done. But I just put my head down the last 5-6 laps and pushed really hard and hoped he would make a mistake. And I didn't think he would, but with a lap to go, he did, and I was lucky enough to get by. But I have to thank all his guys at Top Racing and Jeff, because we had some crash damage to fix in practice, and they really helped us out, and we wouldn't be on track without them. So just really happy, and thanks to them.
Boy, after facing the wrong way in round 11, certainly got it right in round 12, didn't he? Here's our Platinum Class points now. Skier 4 more points in hand over Lazar, but for Benitez, jumps to 3rd. Still a lot back, but there's a lot of points to play for. Any hiccups by those guys up front could be close. Long now moves up into 4th. In our gold category points, Mosing, even with Landy getting the win today, stretches it out over Marciano. Remember, Landy not running the entire season, so Mosing building that points margin and looking good possibly for another championship here. The next round of this championship chase, though, unfolds at another amazing facility, home of the U.S. Grand Prix Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas. Another doubleheader weekend, bonus coverage coming from there as well. It should be spectacular, but boy, I'll tell you, tough to top what we saw here at a beautiful Virginia International Raceway. Couple of rounds, absolutely fierce action, and championships being decided and worked out on one of the most challenging, beautiful ribbons of tarmac running through the Virginia hills that you could imagine. It has been spectacular. We can't wait to see what unfolds at Circuit of the Americas and at the season finale a few weeks after that at Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca. So stay with us here as the Porsche GT3 Cup Challenge USA by Yokohama Championship enters its final couple of events. For John Hindhaugh and Jeremy Shaw, I am Greg Creamer. An absolute pleasure to be able to bring this series to you. We look forward to seeing you at Circuit of the Americas. And until then, everybody, take good care.